rise in the morning and face the sunlight. You bounce on my love and say it tight. Sometimes I'm curious on how you feel when you're screaming out my name. Is it really for reality? Originality, my mentality. Explore every possibility. Let's get down. Shorty, time for reveal. I'm only true test is pain. You know the deal. Love appears like bright lights in the night sky. Disappears in the blink of a teary eye. That's why I'm seen caught up in your love. You are incredible. Your love is a drug. Are you the one that can hold me down? I don't know, but oh, I like the sound. You are amazing. There's no doubt. Chopping off with an S, cause you smooth me out. Get ready and let me love you. I got the answer. Right here beside me, girl. Love is a gamble. I wanna think of you. So let me win, girl. I wanna know what's on your mind. I'm curious about your loving. I'm curious. I wanna know what's on your mind, baby. I'm curious about your loving, girl. I'm curious. I wanna know what's on your mind, baby. I'm so serious, your whole package, baby, looking so rambunctious. Got me wide open to God, for really anxious. To get familiar, get in your subconscious. And discuss the many different variants. Issues that affiliate the best of both of us. With the mother and every ride up on the bus. Conversation is making the whole situation a plus. Just figuring it out, is we dealing with us? Or do we capture the feeling that makes you curious? Allow further, but now we minimize the fuss. Just to move on, you must trust in bus. And from the bus, my horse carriages carry us. It's Serafina, my little ghetto fabulous, fabulous. Something later, here's my intention. I've gotta have you right here beside me. Love is a gamble. I wanna take with you. I wanna win, girl. So let me know what's on your mind. I'm curious. About your loving. I'm curious. I wanna know what's on your mind. I'm curious. That's right. About your loving. I'm curious. So curious. I wanna know what's on your mind. Come on, baby. Satisfaction, so how you liking that? Why you digging on me? I'm digging on your moves, but I'm curious, Daddy, can you show us proof? Cause I wanna feel more than ever what you got. The smell of the cool water makes me hot. Round da. He knows the G-spot, and when we up around and forget you not. The same way that you be leaves me intrigued, and I do believe tonight you're feeling me. We can make music easily, and I'm readily give you the best of me. See, I wanna know what's on your mind. So get ready, get right for my love tonight. I'm gonna make you feel, I'm gonna make you feel alright. I'm curious about your loving, girl. I'm curious. I wanna know what's on your mind. I'm curious. That's right. About your loving, girl. I'm curious. Wanna know what's on your mind. I'm curious. Never hurt nobody about the loving, girl. I'm curious. I wanna know what's on your mind. I'm curious. Yeah. What up? It's your brethren, your brother, Virgil Beard, a.k.a. Stacks with the Facts, man. What's good? We here, right? Now, I know some of y'all probably wondering why I came in playing that song, right? Oddly enough, if you pay attention or if you know anything about that song, you know that LL Cool J and MC Lyte is both on that song. Oddly enough, the topic of tonight's show involves LL Cool J, Joe Biden, and MC Lyte. Smash that like button, click on the bell, and subscribe to the page, man. Right? The topic of tonight's show. Do black LGBTQ members love being LGBTQ more than they love being black?
I think it's a very valid question, and we're going to get to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, and you know we're going to do it like we used to it, man. What's good with y'all, man? You know, Saturday night and we here. You understand me? And it's a beautiful thing, man. You know, y'all could be anywhere in this world, but y'all right here with me. And I appreciate that, man. You hear me? Now, what y'all know about Joe Biden calling LL Cool J a boy? Huh? What y'all know about that? Huh? Right?
CBC members staff who here include those who serve across my administration, like Secretary of House Government Affairs, great Marcia Fudge, who joined my son this afternoon. Tonight, the war needs to be kept as a leader of integrity and courage. Courage that every man has ever succeeded. The Green John Pierre, my press secretary. No wonder I'm doing okay. Justice Joe. New boys. Two of the great artists of our time are going to proud of their legacy of hip-hop.
Huh? Let's play that back. He clearly said that boy and forgot where he was at, and he realized where he was at, and he said, cleared it up with that man. Right? Clearly he said that boy. Right? It's like that bitch, Ray. It's that boy. Y'all remember when Bokeem Woodbine character said that to Jamie Foxx, man, and Ray? He said, this ain't that bitch, Ray. It's that boy. You hear me? This ain't that bitch, Ray. You know? So clearly Joe Biden's a racist. Clearly. Right? Obviously. You know? And it is what it is, man. You know? We ain't gonna sit up here and act like it's not what it is. You know? And that's a guy who did time in the penitentiary. I'm telling you right now, when old white men talk like this, they are racist. Don't make no mistake about it. Right? And tonight we're going to ask the question, and we're going to get to it. Do people who are black and also identify with the LGBTQ LMNOP Barbecue Committee agenda, do they love being part of the LGBTQ LMNOP Barbecue Committee agenda more than they love being black? And that's the question for tonight's and the theme and topic of tonight's show. Tap in, walk with us, man. Right? We're going to run that back, man.
The CBC member staff in the room here includes those who serve across my administration, like Secretary of Housing Affairs, Great Marshall Fudge. Tonight's award is subject to legal integrity and courage. The courage that every American association. The three young men of my press secretary. The one Justice Joe. The boys. The two of the great artists of our Congress and our legacy of America.
We called him LLJ. Clearly, he said, boy. He said, that boy's got arms bigger than my thigh. Right? LL Cool J is a grown-ass man. I mean, LL Cool J is super grown. You know? LL Cool J is a grown man, Joe Biden. Right? And I say all that to say, you know, that is clear to say, LL Cool J is 55 years old. You know, so to be called a boy by the goddamn President of the United States of America, right, is disrespectful at best. You hear me? I don't know where y'all come from, but a grown man calling a grown man boy is not respectable in any form or fashion. Right? It is almost always going to be taken as disrespect. It's down there out of 9 times out of 10 is attended with disrespect when said. And the only people who really speak like that are people who I'm gonna go ahead and say it, people who are possibly potentially to some extent racist, if at least they're stereotypical, right? Let's just say that. I don't necessarily say they're racist, but they're definitely a stereotypical type of person for sure, right? Which can also be misconstrued and mixed up or confused with racism, right? Just because you're a stereotypical guy doesn't necessarily mean you're racist and vice versa, right? And the fact that Joe Biden said this in the manner and tone in which he did lets you know a couple of things. One, he's a racist. Two, he normally speaks like this. This is what he thinks. This is what he views of black people, specifically black men. He thinks of them as being boys, right? Now, how does MC Light come into play in this? Because she came to Joe Biden's defense, right? Oh, he didn't mean it like that. That's basically what she was saying. He didn't mean it like that. You know, that's just old Joe. You know, he's an old guy. You hear me? All right. We about to, man, listen here. Tap in, walk with us, man. You know, I'm trying to find the video.
A lot of people have grab your sport tissue things. And the first time it hit on each other, love. Conversation on the table.
Hear that? So I want to hear what she ought to say.
Two of the great artists of our time representing the
LLJ Cool J.
By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's been Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's been an MC Light. Both of you, thank you.
You just watched one of President Joe Biden's most cringe-worthy gaffes. And not only did he not know how to pronounce LL Cool J, which really isn't that complicated, he went on to call a black man a boy, which he definitely shouldn't have done. Now, the incident occurred at the Congressional Black Conference in Phoenix. So this is the Phoenix Awards over the weekend. Now, the gaffe didn't sit well with many, including Charlemagne. So let's hear what he had to say.
Charlemagne is a bitch.
A lot of people are upset that Joe Biden referred to LL Cool J as a boy. As you can hear, he corrected himself on the spot. You know why Joe Biden corrected himself? Because he's 137 years old. He fully understands the word boy in the racial context around a white man referring to a black man as boy. See, boy is absolutely a white racist word when used in a certain context. When the word boy is referred when somebody uses the word boy to refer to an adult black man and the speaker is white, that takes on a whole different meaning. His context and meaning matters. Okay, boy is a white racist word. Joe Biden knows this. That's why he corrected himself. But I'm going to tell you what I found egregious. The fact that Joe Biden got LL's name wrong to begin with. Can we hear that again, please?
And two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LLJ Cool J.
Stop. LLJ Cool J. Why did the audience laugh? They should have been correcting him on the spot. Okay, I don't know if that was Joe Biden or the teleprompter or the Delaware education system, but here's the thing.
Another shot at Delaware.
It wasn't. I didn't even know why I said that. I don't know why I said that. But listen, here's the thing. Joe Biden should not need a teleprompter to know there's not two J's in LL Cool J.
Now, look, this isn't the first time that President Joe Biden has made some racially insensitive remarks. In fact, remarks that were insensitive in the context of a conversation with Charlemagne himself. Here's the reminder.
Do you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump and you ain't black?
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see.
Take a look at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years. I have a record that is second to none. The NAACP's endorsed me every time I've run. Come on. Take a look at the record.
All right, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Anyway, thanks. I will come back.
Cenk, take it away.
Yeah. He's got issues. He's got massive issues. And so one of the excuses that the establishment uses is, we can't go away from Biden because the black community loves Biden. No, you just made that up. Like, I get it. He won South Carolina because Clyburn, Obama, etc. The black community loves Obama. That's definitely true, right?
I
and so when
understand
they
why.
were saying, okay, go back Biden, yeah, that helped. But does the black community love Biden by himself, in and of itself? No. And I by the way, a lot of people in don't listen to anybody in Washington, don't listen to anybody on television, because their income, their salaries are often tied to the Democrats. So they have to say that black people love Joe Biden. They have to say it, okay? Charlemagne doesn't have to say it. Charlemagne's actually popular. People actually listen to him. And he's been frustrated with this for a long time, and he's absolutely right. So, and look at the point Charlemagne made when he was interviewing Biden a while back, that second clip we showed you. He said, I'm not comparing you to Trump. I'm asking you about your record, but Biden then says, no, you're not black if you don't support me. What kind of an insane thing is that to say?
It's super. I find it so wrong when anyone uses that kind of rhetoric to essentially treat any group of people, right? Well, whether they're marginalized or not, as a monolith. It's stupid to think of any group that way. People are individuals who have the right to make individual decisions for themselves. Look, I feel the same way when there's a conservative black person and then liberals go after that individual and say that they're not black. They're not black because they have conservative values. No, they're allowed to have conservative values. They're individuals. individuals. No particular group is a monolith. I think it's incredibly ridiculous to think in that way.
And by the way, President Biden, I did look at your record. What was the number one promise you made back then when you were campaigning?
That's enough of that.
MC Lyte defended President Joe Biden for his recent mix-up with LL Cool J during an event. Both artists received the Phoenix Award at the Congressional Black Caucus's 52nd Annual Legislative Conference. The president stumbled in his speech, referring to LL Cool J as LLJ Cool J and then calling him boy. MC Lyte later addressed this on social media, thanking everyone for celebrating hip-hop culture and her career. She expressed her deep respect and admiration for LL Cool J, calling him a pioneer in the industry and thanking him for helping her with iconic rhymes. She also mentioned her participation in his tribute during the Kennedy Center honors. MC Lyte then discussed Biden's mistake at the Congressional Black Caucus Phoenix Awards. She clarified that while she doesn't condone any disrespect, she believes Biden's comments weren't intentional. She noted that elders sometimes make name mistakes, including her own experience. She emphasized the historic significance of the moment when the president and vice president acknowledged and celebrated a monumental achievement in hip-hop. MC Lyte encouraged people to focus on this positive aspect and urged everyone to show love and grace to one another. She concluded her message by stating that she wouldn't entertain comments on the post, asserting, "I said what I said."
Right? She said what she said, right? She said what she said, right? Right? Be your own people, man. Be your own people, man. It be your own people, right? Right? Let me pull it up on the screen so y'all can see it, man. Oh, y'all can see it. My bad. MC Lyte thinks everyone focusing on President Joe Biden blundering intro LL Cool J isn't keeping their eyes on the prize, which is, in her opinion, one of hip-hop's biggest moments ever. Lyte was honored alongside LL last weekend in D.C. for her own monumental strides in rap, but it wasn't her name the president royally screwed up, nor was she the one who had to stomach being called boy, as LL did. Biden's political critics think it's just the latest example of him losing it, and his cultural critics, like Charlemagne the God, had no mercy for him either. But Lyte went to bat for the commander-in-chief and thinks it was an honest mistake he sincerely regrets. Right? Right? And this is what she said. Right? MC Lyte a sucker, man. Right? Thank you to all my brothers and sisters for your love and your warm embrace as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. First, I want to say that I have nothing but respect, love, and admiration for my big brother LL Cool J, for being a pioneer in this business, for helping me write some of my most iconic rhymes, and for inviting me to be a part of his tribute during the Kennedy Center honors, a high-ranking achievement which only has been bestowed to one hip-hop artist to date, the GOAT, LL Cool J. Right? Smash that like button, tap on the, someone tap in and walk with us. I will forever thank, honor, and love him. In regard to the recent occurrence during the Congressional Black Caucus Phoenix Awards, while I do not condone any disrespect of any kind, especially to a black man we all love and hold in high regard, I must say, I was actually there, and I do not believe President Biden's comments were malintended. He made a mistake I'm sure he regrets. One of my most fond memories is that of being in the presence of my elders when they make a mistake with a name, sometimes even my own. I pray that we will pay more attention to the story and report of this moment than the errors that were made in it. What we should all spend time focusing on is this. For the first time in history, both the president and vice president of the United States together have acknowledged, embraced, and publicly shown their love and appreciation for environmental achievement in hip-hop. Let's try to keep showing each other love and grace. Long live hip-hop. Let's see some of the comments. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. You did? Where the comments at, man? Oh, they ain't gonna let me see because I ain't logged in. All right. Scandalous, man. Right? You scandalous. Right? Now, MC Light ain't went on no interviews or nothing, man. Right? Right? Hold on, let me see this real quick. Smash that like button, man. Right? So MC Light basically taking up for this guy. Now, what y'all know about Joe Biden is the descendant of 2 ex-slave owners. What y'all know about that? On both sides of the family. Huh? What y'all know about that?
Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem. Sleepy, creepy Joe. Joe Beezy. All right. Goes to the article. This is via New York Post.
On Capitol Hill, House lawmakers are once again taking a look at the idea of reparations for African Americans. They have reintroduced a bill to study the effects of slavery and develop solutions to bridge the economic, educational, and health disparities between descendants of slaves and white Americans. News Nation reporter Raquel Martin has more on this from Washington.
For the second time in 2 years, House Democrats discuss calls for reparations to African Americans.
The federal government must account for its ongoing role in perpetuating, supporting, and upholding white supremacy.
Missouri Democratic Congresswoman Cori Bush says for generations, the country has systematically disenfranchised African American families.
When white soldiers came back from fighting abroad, they were given housing preferences and education subsidies. My grandfathers, Ulysses and Clifton Blakeney, were denied those benefits.
It is long overdue.
Kathy Masaoka says descendants of slaves deserve the same healing as Japanese Americans who were granted reparations after being forced into internment camps.
This is a chance for many Black voices to be heard and for the Black community to express what kind of reparations it is owed.
The current bill would only create a federal commission to study reparations, but so far has no Republican support.
I can't imagine a more divisive, polarizing, or unjust measure.
California Congressman Tom McClintock said it would be unfair to punish white Americans today for their ancestors' mistakes. And Herschel Walker, an athlete and Trump supporter, says reparations are counterproductive and promote separation.
Who is black
What percentage of blight must you be to receive reparation?
Wednesday, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said President Biden supports the commission idea, but stops short of backing the bill.
It's working its way through Congress.
In Washington, Raquel Martin.
That sounds stupid. XL Pro, what's good, man? You know? Huh? Right? What y'all know about Joe Biden is related to slave owners. What y'all know about that, man? What do y'all know about that? Huh? You did? What y'all know about that? Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. Hold on real quick. Let me pull this up for y'all. Hold on, let me go pull this up for y'all real quick.
A Reuters investigation has found that U.S. President Joe Biden and every living former president of the country, except Donald Trump, are direct descendants of people who kept black people as slaves. Trump's ancestors came to America after slavery was abolished. Through his white mother's side, Barack Obama too has ancestors who were slaveholders. The probe found that at least 100 members of the sitting Congress in the United States are direct descendants of ancestors who enslaved black people, representing at least 8% of Democrats in Congress and 28% of Republicans. The investigation by Reuters suggests that the 100 members also include a fifth of the nation's congressmen, living presidents, Supreme Court justices, and governors.
You know, tap in a lot. Yeah, that's very interesting, ain't it? Right? Do your due diligence, man. Don't believe what I just said, what I post, what I just shared with y'all. Go do your due diligence. Somebody gonna sit here trying to tell me that Trump was related to the British royal family. I said, man, listen here. I ain't never heard that in my life. You hear me? I ain't never come across that information, man, and I do very thorough research, but you know, I'm only smart enough to know how much I don't know. But like I always say, as far as to my knowledge, Trump ain't related to no bloodline connections. That don't mean nothing, though. That don't mean he still ain't, that don't mean he's not involved. That's not what that means. Right? Tap in, walk with us, man. You know?
Excuse me. This is the genealogists find evidence of Biden's ancestors owning slaves. Surprise, surprise. Which is really not a surprise. Okay. It says genealogists have reportedly found evidence that President Biden's paternal colonial ancestors owned slaves. Now, you can just look at certain people's spirit. You can just look at the way certain people are, how they act, and you can tell, who they were in the past, basically. All right, because if your spirit can receive it, we are our ancestors. So, Sleepy Joe was a part of that slave owner period. Okay, he took part in that. All right. This is the reported finding, detailed in the adapted excerpt from Politico correspondent Ben Schreckinger upcoming book, The Bidens, Inside the First Family's 50-Year Rise to Power. It says, was recently discovered by Alexander Bannerman, a genealogist in West Virginia, and lineage expert Gary Boyd Roberts. After the 2020 presidential election, Bannerman worked alongside Roberts to put together Biden's genealogy for the winter 2021 issues of American Ancestors magazine. Bannerman told Schreckinger that during the research, the pair found that 2 of Biden's ancestors on his father's side enslaved people while living in Maryland. And again, when it comes to genealogy and lineage, it goes by who your father is. Now we know for a fact Biden is a Edomite. All right, and when we're reincarnated, as the scriptures say, is every 3 or 4 generations we come back. Okay, and hey, that's perfect timing. To line up with Joe Biden himself taking part in slavery and being one of those slave owners. All right, and then even if he wasn't taking part in it, he has that spirit now. He has that spirit of a slave owner. Look at what he's done.
Yeah, he wasn't
president. Look at how many people he put away. Look at the things that he took part in and that he advocated for and that he supported. That was against us Israelites, us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. He has that slave owner, racist, hateful spirit. So this ain't far-fetched at all, man. This is very believable. It's not a surprise, and you shouldn't be surprised at this.
All right, actual facts, man. You feel me? On his father's side and on his mother's side. On the Hunter side. On the Biden side. Yeah, he's all the way connected and plugged in, man. Right? And MC Lyte. Right? Let's talk about MC Lyte. Right? Right? MC Lyte, man. Right?
A couple of years ago, you and Tyler had made some comments about you that you had a problem with.
Everybody has a right to say whatever they want, I'm just much more of a respectful person, so that's just me.
I mean, do you feel that with the current, social media age that we're in, that there's just a lot less respect in general?
Probably, yeah. I think if people had to say a whole lot more in someone's face, it probably would be a whole lot less. And you save your words for things that matter. But because people get on social media, they're kind of free to say whatever.
And so be it. Hopefully, it just so happens that the social media game comes along at a time in my life where I'm just older, more mature. I can think before answering or responding to somebody's craziness. Whereas for the younger generation of celebrity, it becomes really tough for them to deal with. I've heard celebrities not wanting to do their craft because someone disrespected them to the degree that made them feel unworthy, which is really, it's really sad that someone could be affected in that way by social media. So those are the ones I feel for. I'll be all right. Shit, people done talked about me since Kingdom Come, so I'm cool.
In this age, if you get emotional, your opinion is amplified to, potentially millions of people. It's not just, calling someone up on the phone and cussing them out or whatever else, or talking about them to your friends. This is sort of a different effect where you kind of, you have someone who's emotional, and you also have the level of public embarrassment, which you just never had before. Before you'd have to go on TV to kind of get a, if you want to diss somebody, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an interesting way of looking at it. You're right, because I think at a certain point, a celebrity was untouchable, and you certainly couldn't get on. What was a timeline? You couldn't get on a timeline and just act up and say something that was, the opposite view of the celebrity in question. Yeah, so it is. It's very different.
Well, I mean, you had to do a diss song back in the day, essentially. If you wanted to get at somebody, you had to do like The Bridge Is Over. You had to do something. You had to do a hit 'em up. You couldn't just hop on Twitter and just, let loose a bunch of personal shit about it.
Right. Well, you didn't hop on Twitter, but there were some cases where people hopped on stages. Or somebody's face
that's true.
met with
KRS One, Kia Don situation. I remember that.
Yeah, that's one of.
Oh, okay, whatever. Let's go.
I had a real interesting conversation with Nelly, and he was like, when I lived in New York, I understand why you all rap like that. It's because that's the way life is. It's constantly happening. And he said, us outside.
Shut up.
I read an article that you did with Rhapsody and for Billboard a few years ago. Mm-hmm. And you were talking about when it came to women in hip hop, there seemed to be a lack of variety. Do you still feel like variety is still an issue?
I feel like it's an issue as it relates to promotion and marketing. However, because of the internet, we have really leveled the playing field. So now these women like Rhapsody and Tierra Whack and Chica and Lady London, all of these women, Mumu Fresh and Mama Soul, and they get to play in an arena that wasn't so accessible before. So yeah, I think they're there. I just want more light, no pun, on them so that they get the opportunity to affect.
Right.
I was over eyeballing your play a little bit.
Go ahead, my play.
Yes, look good. I just wanted to start with saying I'm glad that you guys are here. I love to see women sit down together, and everybody starts out pretty young in this. What are some of the people that you think may have inspired you the most? Just from the outside looking in. Yeah, I think.
And if y'all can't tell, by this deep ass voice, this is Remy's allegedly cheating ass talking.
I think to me the most inspiring, and I'm not just saying the female, it can be male or female, but for me was and is MC Light. She was one of the first women in this industry that just thoroughly embraced me. Like, come here, little sis. Gave me her number. Anytime she had an opportunity for me to do something, again, she's like, I got a check for you. It ain't a lot of money, but I'm gonna make sure they get it. And anytime she had a chance to give me an award or give me praise, just anything, she always did that.
Right. So we all know that MC Lyte is a legend or considered to be a legend, right? What we don't got is any video of her speaking on this situation with Joe Biden and LL Cool J, right? We don't have her speaking on it. All we got is what she said on Instagram, right?
I know what happened at school today. Why'd you let her come at you like that?
Oh my God,
You just wasn't ready. Taylor, hip-hop is not a gimmick. There's no room to be acting soft or scary.
Scared? I wasn't scared of her.
You could have fooled me.
Remember where, hold on, I'm about to play it. Hold on.
She started spitting and you acted like you didn't want to battle anymore.
Auntie, I had a long day and I just really don't feel like talking about this.
You don't get it. You got a name to protect now. Acting like anything but the best is not an option, especially when everybody has a phone and they trying to act like TMZ. You're not going to stay relevant like that.
And what do you know about being relevant? The only reason why you're relevant now is because of me.
Ooh, girl, you lucky we got the same blood running through our veins. I know what happened at school today. Why'd you let her come at you like that?
Right. Y'all remember when MC Lyte played in I think it's Power, if I'm not mistaken. Did she play like the cop lady or some shit in Power? If I'm not mistaken, then she played in Power. All right. I might be mistaken. It might be something else I saw that she played in. I think Remy played in it too, if I'm mistaken, man. When it like her and Marlo or some shit, they played cops. I might be thinking about something different, man. I might be thinking about something different, man. Uh-oh. Yeah, you know they knocked you. Yeah, we got to do that's another topic for another day. You feel me? Tap in, walk with us, man. Listen. Now, this is the question that I got for y'all. Right? And in about 10, 12 minutes, I want to drop the link. And anybody who possibly potentially tapping in, watching and listening to this, if you happen to be a member of the LGBTQ community, I want to know your opinion on this. I want to know what you think about this. Do LGBTQ members that are also black, do they love being LGBTQ more than they love being black? Do you love being LGBTQ more than you love being black? Right? Now, we got a lot of guys, and by guys, I don't be just males. I mean, we got a lot of people, I'm going to just say that. We got a lot of people who are black that are also a part of the LGBTQ LMNOP barbecue committee agenda, right? And they seem to have this strange relationship, or I ain't going to say my phone, not a strange relationship, but they all seem to be supporters and advocates for being gay more so than being black. And this is a long list. Right? And it's a long list, man. What? Oh my gosh. First, starting with this guy right here, right? This guy right here, he's more of an advocator for LGBTQ than he ever is for anything concerning with being black. Right? And he just had to find out the hard way that once they get done using you, your ass is grass. Oh, that's what you get for, man. Right? And he done sit up there and said some of the most egregious stuff, man. I'm talking about this dude, Billy Porter, man. You know. So, man. All right. This guy, man. Right? Pause, man. Right? Right? And then you got the people who are part of the LGBTQ community who use or who are perping like they stand for black people, but they actually are exploiting them. Right? Right? Y'all know who these bras is right here? I'm just showing y'all different examples of people who are members of the LGBTQ community that are black. Right? Here we have Alicia Garza here in the center, Opal Tometi to the right. We got left Patrice Cullors-Khan, who are allegedly the founders of Black Lives Matter. Right? And these three chicks right here are some of the biggest grifters in history, man. Right? I'm talking about you can't make this stuff up. And all three of these chicks are members of the LGBTQ LMNOP Barbecue Committee agenda. Patrice Cullors-Khan right here, to my knowledge, right? Notice I said to my knowledge, is still married to this chick. What's her name? What's her name, man? No, that's not her, man. Janiyah, that's what her name is. Janiyah Khan. Janiyah Khan. This chick right here is Patrice Cullors' wife, to my knowledge. I don't know if they got divorced or what's going on. This girl that sit up here and had her breast removed or something. I don't know. This is a whole girl right here, man. This shit crazy as hell, y'all, man. Right? This is a girl, y'all. She's a female. Right? And then we have Janiyah Khan, who is the, co-founder of the Canadian Black Lives Matter. Her and Patrice Cullors Khan, hence the name Khan, were at one point in time married to each other. Right? All right. There they go right there. There they go right there. Here they go right there. You feel me? That's them right there. You dig? What I'm saying is, I'm just giving y'all examples of black people, specifically people that are black that are also identify with the LGBTQ barbecue committee agenda, right? And do they love being part of the LGBTQ community more than they love being black? Now, the reason why showing these people from Black Lives Matter is because they have taken black people up top for millions of dollars under the guise of advocating for so-called justice and fairness and equality for black people in the court system, specifically. But as y'all all know, these guys are and have been for quite some time all in the news. Right? Tap in, walk with us, man. Right?
Realtor.com's Real View Maps show you precise.
You know, show y'all that, right? I just wanted to show y'all that, right? So y'all can see that this is something that is being supported from multiple angles and not just resorted to gay black men or gay black women, right? And the reason why I say that because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that clearly MC Light is down with the. I mean, clearly, like, right? You know.
Papoose and Remy Ma are allegedly no longer together. She's rumored to be dating a younger man, and things just got worse for me at that time. Like, my whole world came crashing.
So it looks like Remy Ma and Papoose' marriage might be on the rocks because word on the streets is that she has allegedly been cheating on Papoose with rapper Easy, the Block Cap. Well, Remy just admitted to the affair and had a breakdown because she is terrified that Papoose is going to dump her. She is begging for.
Y'all talking about some leave with the media say, man, come on, man. Real ones know what it is, man. Real ones know what it is, man. All right? You know? You did. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm going to sit up here and do this, man. You feel me? I'm going to sit up here and do this. Drop the link, man. Listen, man. I think I pretty much laid it out, you know? Basically, especially when it comes to famous people who are also members or identify with being members of the LGBTQ community agenda, right? They, you know, I ain't gonna say it seems they defend being that more than they do being black, right? Whenever something happens, right? Like, let's say, for instance, when something happens when it comes to black men who are part of that community, right? They got all the defense in the world for being gay, but absolutely none when it comes to defending being black. You look at all across the board, man. MC Light is also in this category. She supports Joe Biden because Joe Biden supports the LGBTQ barbecue committee agenda. So she's not going to say that Joe Biden was wrong for saying what he said. She ain't going to put the fire to his ass. First and foremost, we need to make it publicly known and publicly chastisable when you do such things like what Joe Biden. I don't give a damn if you're the president or not. Technically, if you think about it, he ain't the damn president. But that's another topic for another day. But we're going to play along with the game, right? Especially a sitting president should be held to the highest account for what he said out. He getting old, yes. Stupid, no. I'm not as naive as a lot of y'all to ever think that Joe Biden is stupid. He's as sharp and smart as a whip, and he's well aware of what he is doing and even more aware of what he is not doing. And as soon as y'all figure that out, then that's when we can actually start being on one accord amongst ourselves. A lot of y'all think participating in this two-party system is going to somehow change something when it ain't designed to change shit. ain't designed to change shit. This system ain't designed to change nothing, man. You hear me? It's designed to be just like how it is. The same. No progression. More separation. More division. You understand me? That's what it's all about, man. You understand me, man? They don't want us to be critically and analyzing this stuff, man. You hear me? They don't want us to be critically analyzing this stuff. You know what I mean? Asking these questions that we asking. You know? You can look across the board, man. Right? You look at all the people who are in the public eye who are not only Black, but also identify with being a part of the LGBTQ LMNOP barbecue committee agenda. You never hear these people speak out when it comes to issues dealing with Black people. They only come out when it comes to issues dealing with the LGBTQ LMNOP barbecue committee agenda. Y'all want to know another person who does it? This little agent provocateur ass little dude, fun boy dude right here. Right? They snuck him in so slick. It's crazy. Right? They snuck him in so quick. It's crazy. Right? You don't never hear this done boy talking about speaking up against anything to do with the Black community. Anything to do with anything masculine as far as young boys developing into men. His sole purpose is to get all children, specifically especially Black children, and to get them all indoctrinated with Luciferianism and Satanism and homosexuality and just debauchery on all levels. You know? Right? Like, look at this guy, man. Who knew? Who knew when we heard the Old Town Road song, this was what all that was going to turn into? And notice that in any imagery with Lil Nas X is always him on some feminine shit, man. Like, he's not really even known for his music. More or less known for his media antics. You know? That nigga Boosie was salty. And I personally just think that that whole video them in the shower and in the joint and dancing naked, like that just was too much for me right there, man. The fact that they let stuff like that show on TV where kids and stuff can see that, that's just crazy, man. You feel me? Like that's just till to this day, I'll be thinking about that. Like that's insane to me. Right? I would never imagine that I would even see something like that on TV. Lance Parker, what it do, man? I never thought I would see something like that on TV. I just never thought I would see something like that. That blew me when I first. And after that, I was, I just instantly paused it and stopped watching it after that. Like, I wasn't ready for that. I ain't gonna lie. What they say, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that. I remember. Oh man, I thought some, that was a nice prank on your brother, man. But I wasn't ready for that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, what? I'm talking about I don't get no more fun boy behavior than that. It's crazy. Smash that like button, click the bell, subscribe to the page, man. Listen, the link is in the chat. You're more than welcome to hit it and come up and spit your game and talk your shit. Right? Just think about it though, man. All these black people, whether they male, female, entertainers, whatever industry they're in, it doesn't really matter. They don't ever stand up for rights amongst blacks. You know? This is another one of them right here. We're taking it back to the ladies. This is another one of the so-called black entertainers who don't never address nothing to do with being black. Right? Wanda, goddammit Sykes. You hear me? She had to go get her a French bra. You hear me? You know? It's crazy, right? It just don't sit right. It just don't seem like it'll be a good environment. Pause 2 dudes and pause 2 chicks. It's just not right. It don't even sound right saying it out your mouth. Imagine a little boy being raised by 2 women. One of them pretending to be a man. That's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Right. It's crazy, right? And I could just keep going on and on and on and on and on, pulling people up here on this screen who are black that are also members of the LGBTQ LMNOP community agenda. And I can sit up here and also connect dots on specifically what they got going on. But that's not what the show is about tonight. This is a question being asked, right? Let's see if anybody want to pull up. Notice I said, Do black LGBTQ members love being LGBTQ more than they love being black? Yeah, there you go right there. Right? My man Lance Parker just put y'all up on some gang. Right? That's who old girl Tasha K look like. That's who Tasha girl Tasha K look like. Listen, James Baldwin definitely was a fun boy. But he never put that above his blackness or the struggle for black people as a whole. You know? So the question still remains, y'all. Put a number 11 in the chat if you think that black people who are part of the LGBTQ LMNOP Barbecue Committee agenda, do you think they love being part of that committee agenda versus being with actual or being black as a people? Do they put being a part of the LGBTQ above being black? Put a number 11 in the chat if you agree with that. If you don't, put a number 12. Right? You know, it's quite crazy, man. You know? And like I say, man, I opened up the panel, you know, for people to come up, speak on this. You know, it'll be beautiful. Good conversation, good content. If one of y'all members from the LGBTQ young people will come up and you know, say something, but the fact that don't happen says a lot for me. And this is why I speak on and this is why I say the LGBTQ LMNOP Barbecue Committee agenda. Right? Ask people who are, how can I say this? People who are of the actual community, that is the LGBTQ community, they actually don't agree with a lot of this stuff that's going on. And that doesn't get televised. That doesn't get talked about. It doesn't get popularized. It's not even brought up because that doesn't go with the narrative. Right? That'll mess the whole play up if they were showing y'all in large amounts of numbers people who are actually gay who don't go along with a lot of this bull that's going on, as far as, you know, and even a lot of drag queens, you know, trannies or whatever, who not cool with little boys coming to drag parties. You know, they don't televise that stuff, though. They don't show us that stuff, though. That's why I tell y'all to do y'all's due diligence, man. You feel me? That's one of the main reasons why I say do your due diligence. You did? One of the main reasons why I say that. You know? James Baldwin never put his sexuality above being black. You know? One thing I can't say about the dude, he was for his people. Or was he? Right? Or was he? Right? My man Lance Parker say. My man Lance Parker say, it used to be LGB. Yeah. It used to be LGB at first. Then the drop down and the menu got added. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's why I say it's the LGBTQ LMNOP Barbecue Committee agenda. People ask me all the time, like, Verse, why do you always say that? I said, because that's what it is. It's an agenda. Key word you missed, agenda. And make no mistake, it's an agenda. I'm not saying that for fanfare or, pizzazz or anything. I'm saying that because it's true. It's definitely an agenda. And if you don't peep the play, then that's on you, man. Right? They ain't running no topic game on me. I see right through it. You did? But as y'all see, now that they getting their agendas across, now you start to see what they doing to the LGBTQ LMNOP Barbecue Committee agenda members. Now they throwing y'all under the bus. They done already made it legal for businesses to not have to do business with you just because you're, you no longer get special treatment just because you're a fun boy or fun girl anymore. That day is over with. Companies, you no longer have to hire you based upon that. They can choose to not hire you or if they want to or not. If they're the type of company that don't want no, you understand me, in their place of business, guess what? They don't have to let you come in and there's nothing you can do now. You can't say it's discrimination or anything now. Right? All this unisex bathrooms and all that stuff, man. Well, nothing wrong with the way things was before, man. We went to our separate bathrooms. We know what it is. It's all good. We ain't tripping. I go to the men's restroom. You go to the ladies' restroom. How it's supposed to be. Right? Now we got all this freaky, demonic stuff coming in. And I say that because that's what it is. It's demonic. I don't care how anybody feels about it. It is what it is. And I'm always going to treat it as such. You feel me? Nothing different. You did? So, anybody that's tapping in with me, like I said, I have a conversation with anybody. But at the end of the day, if you want to have a real conversation, which most people don't, they think they do, but they don't, and sit up here trying to rationalize straight demon time, like I'm going to go for that, and I won't. So I know the reasons why a lot of y'all don't come on the show. You did. And it's all good. I consider it to be a compliment. Really, I do. I really do. All right? That lets me know that I'm doing my job. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing my job correctly. All praises be to the Most High. You did. And over here at April Talk Podcast especially, we're willing to have a conversation with anybody about anything. You feel me? As long as it's respectable. You did. As long as it's respectable, we can have a conversation. We're not shying away from conversation or confrontation over here at A Real Talk Pod class. No, not at all. Do you hear me, man? I run towards it. I look at it in its face and I want to confront it. I'm not afraid or ashamed or shy or timid when it comes to confrontation, man. I'm one of the few people I see on this whole thing that consistently cam up. You feel me? You know, what y'all got to hide, man? Y'all got to hide from the people, man, to where y'all don't show these people who y'all are, man. Y'all got to hide, man. I instantly automatically associate or assume, you know what I'm saying, that you got something to hide, something fraudulent with you if you don't cam up or got something to say about coming up. You know? Well, why are you? You know, that's suspect off top. That's suspect off top. Anybody who would contest or, and when I'm saying, I'm talking about content creators. Now, as far as the subscribers go that tap in and support, I mean, it's really, to some extent, it's really not important what they look like, but I will always say this. If you're going to be on here talking heavy, got to put a face to the and a voice to the avatar, man. You got to. But if you just a spectator and want to enjoy the show and, you know, want to comment and every now and again, but you ain't like talking heavy, you know, then there's really no need to really see what you look like or know what you look like or any of that. It's not necessary, but especially if you're a content creator, so-called non-content or so-called creator, content creator, mostly non-content creators, you definitely better cam up, especially in 2024. Cam up or shut up. That's the campaign, man. We don't want to hear nothing you saying if you ain't camming up, man. And I'm about to get on that. About to be on that for real. You feel me? Like we about to be pushing that. You know what I'm saying? That's about to be like a campaign, you know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna holler at my peoples, man, who I rock with, and we're gonna let y'all, man, listen, cam up, man. Show us what you working with. Pause, not in that way, but you know, you gonna be on, especially if you gonna be talking heavy. You feel me? When you talking heavy, you gotta put a name to the face. Or should I say a face to the name, to the voice. You gotta put a face there. We gotta see that. Especially if you're gonna be talking heavy. Talking about what people look like, making jokes and stuff, you know what I mean? It's only right. It's only right in that light. You dig? So make sure y'all tap in, man. You know what I'm talking about? I'll open up the panel. All that stuff, man, you know. And like I said, I'm a fair and decent guy. I ain't gonna overtalk nobody or, you know, try to make nobody look bad or do none of that. You know, I'm a real one. I'm a fair guy. All you gotta do is just tap in with people who tap in with me. Right? People who rock with me will let you know, man, you're gonna get a fair shot over here at A Real Talk, man. We ain't gonna overtalk you. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna sit up here just be disrespectful. You know what I mean? We're just gonna have a real conversation, you know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna ask you some real questions, man. You know? A lot of y'all say y'all real, but y'all want to have real discussions. You know what I mean? That's something that I noticed. You know what I'm saying? Especially amidst y'all black folks who claim to be a part of this LGBTQ LMNOP barbecue committee agenda. You know, when certain things come up and conversations need to be had, y'all don't ever be nowhere to be found. What's up with that? And I know everybody gonna say, man, shut up with all that stuff, man. Come on up here and speak your piece, man. You know, I know my voice is deep and intimidating and all of that, but I'm not disrespectful, man. You hear me? I'll sit up there and give you an opportunity to explain yourself, man, and defend your state, defend your status, you know, your stance, you know. You know, I'm a pretty fair guy, man. You know, I know I can come off as maybe a little bit intimidating, you know what I'm talking about, or you know, whatever the case may be. But I understand a lot of stuff too, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all sit up here and just like I do, y'all pay attention to certain people if they come across your situation, your algorithm, so to speak, and y'all pay attention on YouTube. Y'all people who I know y'all be tapping in. Listen, y'all know when y'all coming across somebody who's a critical thinker, somebody who's intelligent, is well studied, versed, and learned in multiple various areas and expertise or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't be wanting to come up and really have a real conversation for real, man. Y'all don't want to get challenged by somebody who can actually challenge your ideology, your psyche, challenge what you say you think or believe in critically, analytically. You know what I'm saying? Well researched, learned, and studied. I noticed that, man. Y'all don't want to be having no conversations like that for real, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't want to, you know what I'm saying, be made to, I guess, look bad or something like that. You know what I mean? I can't make you look bad. There's nothing I could say or do about you to make you look bad, right? You know? And although I'm capable of painting pictures with words, I don't do that, right? I just present the facts and let you decide what you're making out of it. You know what I'm saying? Here's all this information concerning this situation. Now you make the proper conclusion for yourself, right? You know, you make the proper decision for yourself. You know, come to the proper conclusion of what you get out of all of this. You know, and that's what I do over here at A Real Talk, y'all. You know, I just present y'all with some information pertaining to the situation. You know, not necessarily, although I have the ability to paint the picture, but just connecting the dots, connecting all the dots, the seemingly unrelated people, places, events, situations, organizations, right? So you can make the proper conclusion for yourself about what you're being told, specifically when it comes to like this situation with Joe Biden and MC Lyte and LL Cool J. If you believe that Joe Biden sit up there and had a Freudian slip, hey man, that, you know, you're not wrong for thinking that. If that's what you truly think and believe, right? You know, but me for one, being a free thinker and having a lot of experience specifically with this type of situation, I know when an older white guy, Joe's age, says the word boy, as in reference to a grown ass 55-year-old black man, I'm just not convinced that that was a Freudian slip, right? Like I always say, Joe Biden might be getting up in age, but he's not stupid. right? He's not an imbecile or an idiot. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. We here, man. Saturday night. I believe the restriction on my other page is up tonight. Right? So we're going to be having Spiritual Roots Sunday tomorrow. Me and my pops. We're going in on the 7 stages of demonic. We're going on the historic root, the spiritual roots of demonic possession. Y'all ain't going to want to miss that. That's going to be on A Real Talk Podcast. Like I said, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that the little weak-ass band that I got from last Saturday, which is why I'll be real cool on playing anybody's content now. You know what I'm saying? We should be backing up and popping tomorrow. I'm thinking like right now, for real, for real. You know? So smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. You know? MC Light. You know what I'm saying? I personally think MC Light is foul, man. For that. You know? For many reasons. She foul because, you know, she just filed for defending this dude against her, for one, against her brother, right? And, you know, that's not a good look for hip hop, man. That's not a good look for us as black folks, man. And I'm telling y'all out there, don't try it, man. Don't try it. Do not try it, man. And I'm not naive to know or to think that, you know, I'm not naive to think that, you understand what I'm saying, that all people who are black and, you know, I guess you could say part of the LGBTQ community, right? And not the agenda. Yeah, I would imagine there's more thing important against them, you know. Tap in, walk with us, man. You feel me? Saturday night, y'all know how we do it. We talk about random topics, man. I just thought this was something to chop it up about because, you know what I'm saying, it was not only something that I've noticed, right? But I noticed also that it's something that members of the LGBTQ committee agenda tend to shy away from. Right? It's like avoiding confrontation. You know? Right? And although I vehemently disagree and oppose with anything LGBT, anything fun boy activity or fun girl activity, I'm cool on it. I don't want nothing to do with this agenda. You know? Nothing at all. Absolutely nothing. Promise y'all, man. Tap in, walk with us, man. We about to get up out of here, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. You did. You know? You know? That's crazy that MC Light defended this dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. She's supposed to come to her brother's defense. Give a damn if he the president. Yeah, man. Y'all know? Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. We're going to ride out with another banger, man. You know what I'm talking about? With another banger. All right. I'm looking for this one track. I'm looking for this one track.
I didn't want to be in it because I didn't have a record out for a long time, and I don't want the first time you hear me is you hear me over that music, self-destruction. You know, it's too. I can't. I couldn't do it. So something that is constructive. I wanted to put my input in without having to be on the record, so I did it that way, and I didn't even ask for no credit. I ain't get no money. I told him not to tell nobody. So most people think, oh, LO thought he was too big to be on self-destruction. I wrote MC Lights part from the heart. You know. It's cool.
Is that because you feel that you really have a responsibility because everybody...
You know. You know. My man LL Cool J, man. You don't see like you ought to be ashamed of yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? The type of music they used to put out back in the day, way different than what's put out now, man. Right? Tap in and walk with us, man.
Try to get attention.
Gabrielle, beautiful. It looks just as good going as it does now.
Her voice deep as hell. All right. All right. So we're going to ride out, y'all, man. Thank y'all for tapping in, man. Everybody who tapped in, smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go in, leave out like how we came in. All y'all part of the LGBTQ Elemental P-Barbecue Committee agenda, man. You know? A lot of y'all, I ain't gonna say all of y'all, but I will say the overwhelmingly mass majority of y'all definitely put being part of the LGBTQ community above being black. That's a fact, right? And I would encourage y'all to totally just stop that, because as y'all see, they coming for y'all. Definitely going to always come for us as a whole, but don't ever think that your sexual orientation will protect you in the future coming in, because it is designed, the system and structure that's coming in, to consume you like everybody else. LGBTQ Elemental P Barbecue Committee agenda, because they created you. The system created you, or should I say, informed you. So y'all keep that in mind, man. Tap in with us, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. You did. And we out, man. Hold on.
Something like that. 7 on the bed.
When I rise in the morning and face the sunlight, you bounce on my love and it's airtight. Sometimes I'm curious on how you feel when you're screaming out my name. Is it really for reality? Originality, my mentality. Explore every possibility. Let's get down. Shorty, time will reveal. I'm only true justice pain. You know the deal. Love appears like bright lights in the night sky. Disappears in the blink of a teary eye. That's why I'm still caught up in your love. You are incredible. Your love is a drug. Are you the one that can hold me down? I don't know, but I like the sound. You are amazing. There's no doubt. Chop it off with an S, 'cause you smooth me out. Get ready. Come on. And let me love you. Like nothing else. Right here beside me, girl. Love is a gamble. I wanna take with you. Don't let me win, girl. I wanna know what's on your mind. I'm curious about your loving. I'm curious. I wanna know what's on your mind, baby. I'm curious about your loving, girl. I'm curious. I wanna know what's on your mind, baby. I'm so serious, your whole package, baby. Looking so rambunctious. Got me wide open to God for really anxious. To get familiar, get in your subconscious. And discuss the many different variants. Issues that affiliate the best of both of us. With the mother and every rider on the bus. Conversation is making the whole situation a plus. Just thinking about this, we're dealing with us. Until we capture that feeling that makes you curious. About whether or not we minimize the fuss. Just to move on, you must trust in us or bus. From the bus, my horse carriages carry us. Like it's Serafina, a little ghetto fabulous, fabulous. Something later, get my attention. I've gotta have you right here beside me. Love is a gamble. I wanna take with you. I wanna win, girl. That's right. So let me know what's on your mind. I'm curious. About your loving. I'm curious. I wanna know what's on your mind. I'm curious. That's right. About your loving. I'm curious. So curious. I wanna know what's on your mind, baby.
Satisfaction, so how you liking that? Why you digging on me? I'm digging on your moves, but I'm curious, daddy, can you show and prove? 'Cause I wanna feel more than ever what you got. The smell of the cool water makes me hot. Randada, he knows the G-spot, and when we up around, don't forget you're not the same way that you leaves me in tree. And I do believe tonight you're feeling me. We can make music easily, and I'm ready to give you the best of me. Sing your mind, I wanna know what's on your mind. What's on your mind? So you